Okay, got the mess cleared out a little bit here so it can work. So we got a foot pedal down here that turns the machine on, takes the brake off over here, lets the wheel turn over there and makes that go. So these are all the different honing mandrels I have here. So a lot of you guys are digging up these old machines. I don't know what number this one is. It's probably buried underneath all these logos someplace. Probably under there if you could read it. I don't know, what's that say under there? That's what it is. There's a bunch of numbers and stuff to look at. You can tell I really use this a lot by looking at it. So anyway, these are all your mandrels. I think these are called SL mandrels, which they quit making back in the 80s, I think. So these are all one piece die casted. You can see how they've been turned down because they're worn out. They're supposed to look like this where they're nice and sharp and machined like that. That's how they start out. The smaller ones are more like this. Most of the time these have numbers up on the end of them up here telling you what size it is. Underneath all that muck. And give you an idea what size it is. Sometimes there's down and through here. They vary. So these ones here, I don't know what size these things are. There's a size right down there. See what that says? That's what it is. So anyway, that's how those work. The new ones are two-piece. So they're like this one. Except this one's custom made by me. So it has an adapter right here that goes into your machine. And then you have the mandrel, which is right here. And they make a short mandrel and a long mandrel. So this one here is a long one. Right here's your long one. And it's been welded to another one here. So this is two long ones welded together. I cut off this end down here and welded it to this end up here. Custom made it, so now I got 2 stones length, which they don't make. This is for doing rocker arms on your Sportster, Shovelhead, Evo, Twin Cam, whatever. So see, regular length is like this. This is a short stone version, and the long stone has the longer stones in them. See, the long stone has a big long length, short ones have little short lengths. So these are all two-piece style. So I got the correct ones I have bought over the years for doing the right, the correct sizes, but I get a better pull out of these old ones. So these have a long stone. This is actually one long stone. So if you go back and forth and stroke it, and this is all nice and true and straight like these are, because I keep them straight, then they work. So you can tell these are less than standard size because they've been cut down so far. They're way smaller than they were originally, that's for damn sure. So this one here is just about 0, and over here it is below 0. This one over here is way below 0. So at some point the stone's going to come through the other side, and then that'll be done. This one over here is the same size stone, or mandrel, but it's not worn out so far. So, in this particular size, it says right there, it's a 729. So that's 729 thousandths, or 720, that's a 0, 720. It also says it up there on the tip up there. This one here is like new. See, it's a 780. So this one's really good condition. And as these turn on, as these get cut down, they become these ones. So these are truing sleeves. So that's how you keep it straight and true. Or you keep holding it straight. You could keep using a whole mandrel whole length, it'll stay straight on its own, but if you're stupid, you can correct issues. These are bigger ones over here. They're different styles. These are single stone. These are double stone length. These ones back here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a 5 length. There's only 3 in it. It's 5 length. These ones over here I made for line honing main bearings and transmissions for Sportsters. This one's for Sportsters. This one's for doing main bearings. So these are ones I welded in some, so they're piloted. Here's another one I did double length on. So, you cheat and do what you got to do. That's actually the rocker arm one. Which one did I have pulled out before that I showed you? That was this one. This is not custom made. This is stock. It's a valve guide hone. This is a 3/8 long valve guide hone. Plus it's only got 1 stone in it. It's just it's been ground and modified because it's worn out. I'm getting full use out of it. This is one I've welded together. You can see where I welded two pieces together right there. And these are more long ones here for different things. And like I said, you got lots of different ones. They vary. And then for doing cylinders, I have the old flip-flop one under here, which is this one here. That's that style there. And that works good for a lot of years. That's what you use for doing on car motors. When you're out of the machine, you just use a big drill press to run it. And then I have the one that goes in here that is a fixed one that's used to be sitting right there, but I did something else with it. I don't know what I did with it. I put it somewhere else, probably with all the stones. Anyway, those are all your different stones and stuff that we use. And these are all different stones sitting around that I use. These are for doing the cylinders. These are for doing main bearings and rods. Here's your ones for doing the small stuff. That's what the stone look like. You have different ones. This is that double link stone here, so that's 2 in 1. So you can still buy all these stones. So they're available. Alright, so we need to find the one for this. It's 7/8, so it's 8/75. So that's going to be a 1/8 or a 1/9 that's worn out. I just take this thing and go over the end of it. It fits over the end at the start. It doesn't go over the shoe, so you go down the next one, that one there. There's a winner. So this is the one we're going to use. So this one is probably a 1/8. There it is. Or 0.8, I mean, not 1/8. That looks like what, a 9. That's been worn out. See how it's worn? You can see how they don't wear, they don't look equal when they wear, but that's straight all the way across. And over here you file it under because it was hitting. The stone doesn't work here, so grind this down so it doesn't hit. Otherwise it makes a tapered hole. Or bill mouthed. So to install these, you got to pull out your little chingo chango here. That's the wedge that works the shoe back and forth in the stone. The fancy tool around here, right here, that's the little thing to get in there and do it. Or you reach in there with your fingernail, thumbnail in this case, you just pull it out with your thumb. Like that. That engages in there. So you stick it in there like this, 90 degrees, rotate until you get to the end, pull out, make sure you're in, then you shove it all the way in and tighten it down. And they have not changed this design from the beginning to the end. As far as I know, they're still making them this way to this day. They just make more expensive stuff. This machine here and that machine over there, if you notice, look very much like the same thing. It's all the same design. It's just that has more fancy stuff. It's got more pulleys and speeds in the back. It's got a V-belt. I think it's got 8 or 10 speeds back there that I never use. This one over here, it's got 3 speeds. Or 1 speed. What's it got? 1, 2 speeds, 3. It's got 3 speeds. We're in the middle one. Flat belt. I don't move it. That's the speed I use them. There you go. Okay, this is an oil block, so I don't spray oil all over the damn building. This does not have the big table like that one does over there on it, so we make do. So whatever goes this way goes this way. Alright, so that's already in there. This goes in there. See how it doesn't go on there because it's expanded the stone out. So as I turn this handle up here like this, lights off, you'll see this wedge block move here. The wedge is actually right here. See that wedges? See how the stone goes down? You put that in there like that. You step on the trigger for full engagement, because as you do this, it opens up the stone. See how the wedge comes out? So now we just go until it tightens up. You watch the needle. When it gets that line, that's where you're supposed to be cutting at. There you go. This is out of round. See over here, it's 3 thou up from over here. So that's a thou. Going by this method, it's a thou and a half out of round. But that's not true because it's hitting on 3 spots. That's an average of a round circle. It's actually more than that. So that's because we filed them. Alright, so now I'm ready to hone. Now when you bolt these together like this, the block is just like real world conditions on bolted to a head. So it pulls evenly because these do warp around. It does make a difference. So if you just put bolts on one, it's not the same as bolting against a solid back like I am here. Believe me, it does make a difference. That's why I do things like that. Okay, this here, I don't know how much you're going to see, but it's the best you're going to get because I got to work over here. Alright, see what we get here. Move my hose. It's trying to squirt me. It's trying to get me. Oh, it did. Oh, my shirt got oily. Oh well. What you looking at? You're looking at something over there. I don't know what. Make sure you lubricate your part. Be prepared for this to rip your fingers off. Like that. Don't open throttle so fast. And hold on. And this goes through your size. And next block now. Do it again, trying to keep everything straight and true. It puts bounce in this round. We don't want to go until it's round because then it'll be too big. We're going to go until this goes in. It's a go and no-go gauge. When it don't go in, you don't go. When it does go in, you're done. This one's a lot more out of round, so I got pulling more. Pulling it to the red line. Alright, see if this goes in. It's trying to, but no cigar. Keep it underneath the oil, it keeps them cool. So as they expand, they get bigger. Alright, do a little more to hold with. Do it again. The faster I stroke back and forth, the more I get of a crosshatch between the stone marks instead of being horizontal. It'll go like that. Makes the hole straighter, truer. Makes the part work more resistant. Almost. Oh, it's stuck in there. There. Try to go in. I could turn up the cutting pressure and cut faster, or rip out of my hands easier. But it also make the hole not quite as round. I like going nice and slow with it, easy. There it goes. Slip fit, 0. No clearance. This one, nope, this one here might be quite as long. Oops, there it goes. Alright. So now I'm at 0 clearance. Basically just go in there about a ½ inch and try to wiggle it. If you have a lot of clearance, it'll clunk, clunk, clunk. If you got almost nothing like I do here, it won't do hardly anything. It does go up and down, so we do have some clearance. Well, that's just a matter of how much clearance you want to give it. I don't want to give it a lot, but I want to give it a little bit. So we'll probably give it like ½ a thou. So I know what number I'm going to do right now. We'll give it a little extra. Alright. I want to see a little bit of rock in there. I don't know if you can see it, but I have it. I don't know if you can tell that or not. It's a little tighter, like I figured it was going to be. It's stun wear as you do this. So you want to know what you are, you take this one again real quick. And you do this. Hold it to the same number. Some of that was way smaller. Stubborn. Pretty close. You can feel a tenth of a thou easy doing it that way. But alright, they're pretty close now. It's got a nice smooth finish in the hole now. So now you're going to clean all this junk up. Because I'm filthy, machine's filthy, parts are filthy, and tools are filthy. There you go. Alright, we'll be back. See if I can turn this off.